There's a Japanese philosophy that, if you truly embrace it, can completely change the way you see cleaning, not as a burden, not as a chore, but as something deeply meaningful, gentle, and even healing. I know that might sound like a stretch for something as simple as tidying up, but pause for a moment and really listen to your body. Do you often feel suffocated by a cluttered living space? Do you keep putting off cleaning because just thinking about it already feels exhausting? Do you constantly feel like you don't have enough time, enough energy, enough room to breathe? So, what if cleaning didn't drain you but actually energized you? What if tidying up your home could become a way of caring for yourself? A kind of moving meditation, a gateway to calm. What I'm about to share doesn't come from a self-help book or some professional organizing guru. It comes from the heart of Japanese culture, a culture where minimalism isn't a trend but a way of life. A place where even the smallest daily actions are done with full presence, deep gratitude, and an incredible sense of refinement. In this video, we're going to explore 7 Japanese minimalism hacks that can help you cut your cleaning time in half. But more importantly, this isn't just about saving time. It's about how you'll feel afterward, the lightness in your space and the clarity in your mind. These practices don't ask you to overhaul your entire life or buy expensive tools. They simply invite a gentle shift in mindset, in habits, in the way you see what's around you. So, if you've ever felt overwhelmed by the never-ending mess, or you just want to live more simply but don't know where to begin, stay with me until the end. I'm going to show you how the Japanese use simple, timeless principles to make cleaning feel natural, manageable, and surprisingly nourishing day after day. Hack 1. Apply the 5-minute rule. Have you ever noticed how the little things we ignore often become the very reasons our space feels chaotic and heavy? A towel left on the chair, a few unwashed cups in the sink, a piece of paper quietly lying on the table. They all seem harmless until they pile up and become a mess that's hard to manage. And that's exactly where the 5-minute rule steps in, like a gentle yet powerful awakening. The 5-minute rule sounds simple. If something takes less than 5 minutes to do, just do it immediately. No overthinking, no delaying, just action. But behind this simplicity lies the deep wisdom of the Japanese philosophy of Kaizen, continuous improvement through small, consistent steps each day. A little wipe here, a bit of organizing there, it may not seem like much, but over time, it transforms your entire environment. You see, Kaizen, the very principle that fueled Japan's industrial miracle after World War II, never started with grand plans. It started with observing the smallest of actions, and in that same spirit, the 5-minute rule becomes a vivid expression of Kaizen in our daily lives. No need to wait until the weekend for a big cleaning spree. No need to feel ready. Just start right now with one tiny step. And what's even more fascinating, science backs this up. There's something called the Zeigarnik effect, discovered by psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik. It tells us that unfinished tasks create mental tension. They sit quietly in your mind, taking up space and draining your energy. But when you complete even a small task, like folding a towel, washing a few cups, or organizing scattered papers, you release that tension. Your mind feels lighter, calmer, as if a stone has been lifted from your chest. Behavioral therapists also point out something called behavioral activation. It's when a small, rewarding action sparks the momentum you need. For someone feeling overwhelmed or simply exhausted by life's pace, wiping down just one corner of the floor or putting away a few items isn't just cleaning, it's a form of healing. It's telling yourself, I can do this. Bit by bit, those actions form habits. Just like tying your shoes without thinking, you'll find yourself wiping down the kitchen counter after cooking without needing motivation. Habits are formed through repetition in the same context. When you consistently handle those quick little tasks, your brain starts to build a pattern. Procrastination fades. The idea of, I don't feel like cleaning, becomes foreign. And suddenly, you're living in a rhythm of calm and clarity, as if your home is quietly taking care of itself. And this gets even easier when you start right where you are, in the spaces you already move through every day. In the kitchen, wipe up any spills right away. Don't let them dry into stains. After meals, instead of letting dishes pile up, wash a few right then and there. In the bedroom, it takes just a few minutes to make the bed, clear your nightstand, or hang up that shirt you tossed on a chair. In your workspace, take 5 minutes at the end of the day to tidy your desk, clearing the way for a fresh, focused tomorrow. And when you come home, don't leave your mail, jacket, or bag in a heap. Handle them within those first 5 minutes. These small actions don't just create a tidy space, they invite an awareness. You're not cleaning because you have to. You're cleaning because you've chosen to live in harmony. Cleanliness stops being a chore and becomes a reflection of your inner stillness and intention. And if you've made it this far, let me offer you a little challenge. Pause this video. Pick one 5-minute task that you put off today. A cup, a cluttered surface, a bag that's still unpacked. Do it right now. Then come back and share in the comments how it felt. You might be surprised, not just by how refreshed your space looks, but by how light and clear your mind feels too. Hack 2. Clean from top to bottom. Dust always falls downward. It's a law of nature. But in the rush of daily life, we often overlook that simple truth when cleaning. Many people begin with the floor, sweeping it until it looks spotless, only to then wipe down shelves and scatter dust right back where they started, forcing themselves to clean all over again. It's exhausting, repetitive, but when you change the order, starting high and moving low, you don't just save time. You begin to feel a smooth, intuitive flow in your movements. For the Japanese, this isn't just a clever hack. It's part of usugi, the sacred year-end cleaning ritual that symbolizes letting go of the old to welcome the new. In the final days of December, every corner of the house is cleaned, starting from the ceiling, the overhead lights, the high corners, and only finishing with the floor. It's as if every speck of dust removed is a burden laid down, as if the space is being cleared not just of dirt, but of outdated energies, ready to receive fresh beginnings. And in that sequence, you can also sense the quiet pulse of Eastern Feng Shui, the harmony between people and their living space, the subtle alignment between energy and how we care for our surroundings. When you wipe clean from above first, you're not just removing dust, you're guiding the flow of energy downward in a clear, intentional path, like a river being redirected with calm precision. From a practical standpoint, this approach is widely embraced by professional cleaners around the world. It's straightforward, logical, and honestly impossible to argue with gravity. By following the natural fall of dust, you avoid doing the same work twice. And in a world where time is our most precious currency, any strategy that saves even a few moments is a quiet gift. But more than that, this method offers you a special feeling, a sense of gathering up the mess, gently leading it from complexity to simplicity, from scattered to orderly. It makes you more present with every step. You're no longer cleaning impulsively or randomly. You're guiding your space back into balance, like someone carefully directing the flow of energy in a place they deeply respect. And if you're wondering where to start, it's simple, just look up. Notice the ceiling, the lights, the corners. That's where your journey begins. Once the higher spaces are clean, you move down tall shelves, window frames, tables, lower cabinets, baseboards, and finally the floor. It's a downward movement, but it uplifts your entire environment in a gentle and powerful way. A small note: when reaching high spaces, choose a sturdy step stool or ladder. Go slow, stay grounded and safe. Don't stretch beyond your limit or stand on something unstable just to save a few seconds. In the spirit of usugi, every motion should be carried out with full awareness, not rushed, not mindless, but with care, like tending to your own inner state through your outer environment. And if you'd like to feel the difference for yourself right now, here's a gentle invitation. Stand up, grab a cloth, and wipe down one high shelf or forgotten light fixture. Watch the dust fall. Really watch it as if you're witnessing a shift, a quiet letting go of the old. Then, come back here and share how it felt. Because sometimes, all it takes is one simple change in order to unlock a completely new current of energy, both in your home and deep within your heart. Hack 3. Declutter before cleaning. Imagine trying to wipe down a table, but it's covered with random things: a notebook, a few pens, an old glass of water, a gift you haven't figured out where to put. You're lifting things up, moving them around, wiping a tiny patch of surface in the middle. And once you're done, everything goes back, sometimes even messier than before. The exhaustion doesn't come from the cleaning itself, but from trying to do it in a space that isn't ready to be cleaned. That's why, in Japan, people always begin by letting go. Before they clean, they remove what no longer serves them. The space is cleared not just by wiping or scrubbing, but first by making conscious choices what to keep and what to release. This not only makes cleaning more efficient, but also lifts a quiet weight from your surroundings and from your mind. There's something almost magical that happens when you remove items that no longer fit your present life. A clear table, a tidy bookshelf, an unstuffed drawer, each gives off a kind of ease that's hard to put into words. It's as if you've dusted off an invisible layer of heaviness in your thoughts. These small decisions, what to hold on to, what to let go, start forming a life of intention. A life where every item has a reason to be there. The KonMari method, made famous by Marie Kondo, didn't become a global symbol of Japanese minimalism by accident. When you hold something in your hands and ask, "Does this spark joy?" You're not just talking to the object, you're tuning into yourself. You're not just tidying up. You're coming home to your feelings. You're making room for clarity. And when you choose to keep only what truly matters, you're also choosing yourself, your clearest, lightest self, no longer buried under piles of maybe and someday. This doesn't just save you time. Cleaning it creates a space that feels like it's truly yours, one that reflects your present values and not your forgotten past. Science echoes this deeply. Studies have shown that cluttered spaces increase stress and reduce our ability to focus. When your environment is chaotic, your brain struggles to function clearly. But a decluttered room isn't just easier to clean, it actually lifts your mood, increases your sense of control, and invites calm to settle in. And if you're wondering where to begin, know this. You don't have to go big. Begin small. One drawer, one corner, one shopping bag you never unpacked. When you start with a manageable space, you're not just clearing physical items, you're also practicing presence, choice, and the courage to release. This can even become a shared experience. Decluttering doesn't have to be a burden you carry alone. Invite your loved ones in. When a household chooses together what stays and what goes, the process itself becomes a bonding memory, a quiet act of connection. And when you've chosen what no longer belongs in your life, pass it on. Donate it to someone who truly needs it. Sell what still holds value. This is how you extend the life of your belongings while honoring your role as a mindful participant in the world around you. If you feel ready right now, here's a gentle invitation. Stand up, open the nearest drawer, and revisit what's inside. Keep only what you truly need or love. Set aside the rest. Then come back and tell me how it felt. You might be surprised not just by how much cleaner the drawer looks, but by how much lighter your mind feels. Like you just took a deep breath you didn't even know you were holding. Hack 4. Use multi-purpose tools. In the small homes of Tokyo or Kyoto, there's simply no room for excess. Every square foot matters, and every item in that space must serve more than one role. A single cleaning cloth can replace paper towels, polish glass, wipe kitchen counters. A natural ingredient like baking soda doesn't just clean it, deodorizes, removes stains, softens water, and even unclogs drains. Flexibility isn't just convenience, it's a way of life, a quiet commitment to simplicity and intention. The Japanese philosophy of motai nai, a deep regret over waste, is a guiding light for how to live responsibly. No waste of materials, no waste of effort, no waste of opportunity. And multi-purpose tools are living proof of that spirit. When one item can walk with you through many cleaning moments, it becomes more than just a tool, it becomes a symbol of restraint, care, and quiet efficiency. What's even more beautiful is that these tools are often environmentally kind. No harsh chemicals, no flashy packaging, no plastic waste. When you use a tawashi, a traditional scrubber made from natural palm fibers, you're returning to a centuries-old method that's still just as effective and far gentler on the earth. When you reach for a microfiber cloth instead of a disposable wipe, you're easing the burden on our landfills. And when you mix your own glass cleaner with white vinegar and citrus peel, you're saying no to toxic cleaners without sacrificing results. Using multi-purpose tools doesn't just help you clean faster, because you're not rummaging through cupboards for the right spray or cloth, it also clears your mind. You're no longer juggling endless options. You rely on a few essentials that you trust, that work, that simplify your routine. And with that, cleaning transforms from a chore into a conscious, peaceful practice like tending to your space with presence and respect. If you've ever felt that cleaning was overwhelming or heavy, It may be because you were carrying too much, not just physically, but mentally. Too many tools, too many steps, too much noise. But Japanese wisdom reminds us simplicity is strength. When you choose one tool that you trust and let it accompany you through various tasks, everything starts to flow smoothly, calmly, like water finding its way. And if you're holding your phone or sitting at your desk right now, I have a gentle invitation for you. Stand up, grab a microfiber cloth, and try wiping down a surface, maybe a table, a door handle, a corner of your fridge using just water. No cleaners, just the cloth, your hand, and your awareness. Feel how easy it is, how clean it becomes, how satisfying that small act can be. Then come back and let me know how it felt. Because sometimes one simple, humble tool used with intention can quietly transform your entire experience of caring for your home. Hack 5. Apply the 15-minute daily rule. Just 15 minutes a day, it may sound too simple to make a difference, but in that simplicity lies the most sustainable power. In our modern lives, where time always feels short and to-do lists never end, setting aside 15 minutes to tidy, clean, or care for your home isn't just a practical task. It becomes a small ritual, a gentle return to yourself. In Japanese, there's a word for this kind of quiet consistency, keizoku. It means persistence, no rushing, no pressure for perfection, just doing something small every day. That repetition becomes the foundation of a life that is not only tidy, but intentional, mindful, and deeply rooted in care. 15 minutes a day is enough to wipe down the kitchen after dinner, sweep a small area of the floor, organize a drawer, or straighten up a cluttered corner. What matters isn't how much you do, it's that you show up fully for those 15 minutes. It's your time to connect with your home. No rush, no unrealistic goals, just quiet presence in every little movement. Modern psychology echoes this wisdom. Tiny actions done consistently become habits that stick. Our brains remember patterns through simple loops: cue, routine, reward. That's how 15 minutes of cleaning a day can become a natural rhythm. Your body gets moving, your mind softens, and your space begins to reflect the care you've given it, without needing extra motivation or willpower. And something magical happens when you keep at it. You start to realize you no longer need those exhausting, all-day deep cleaning marathons. Weekends become lighter. Your space stays fresh because it's been tended to gently, day by day. Your home begins to breathe with you, in sync with your attention and care. If this practice feels new, start by anchoring it to something you already do. Maybe after dinner, before your shower, or as part of your slow Sunday morning. All you need is to choose one consistent time, and the habit will grow on its own, softly, naturally, without force. If there's a spot in your home that makes you sigh every time you see it, maybe today's 15 minutes is for that. You don't have to finish the whole area. Just begin. Wipe one surface. Put away a few things. Fold what's crumpled. Then tomorrow, do a little more. As the Japanese often say, today better than yesterday, but not as good as tomorrow. And if you're still with me now, here's a gentle invitation. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Just 15. Pick a space that you've been avoiding. Start cleaning, organizing, or refreshing it as if you're tending to a part of your own heart. When the timer goes off, stop. You don't need to finish anything. What matters is that you showed up. Then come back here and share what you did in those 15 minutes. How did it feel? I truly believe what you'll find is more than a cleaner corner. It's a sense of ease, calm, and quiet self-love that lingers far longer than the timer's ring. Hack 6. Practice the Danshari technique. After all the habits and techniques that help you clean faster and more mindfully, there is one philosophy that takes us even deeper, not just helping you clean your home, but helping you lighten your heart. It's not just a tip, it's a journey called Danshari. Danshari, 3 simple syllables that carry profound meaning. Dan means to refuse. Sha means to dispose. Rai means to separate. Together, Danshari is not just a method of tidying, it's a way of living. A way that teaches you to say no to what's unnecessary, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to release your emotional attachments to physical objects. Through that, you begin to rediscover a deep sense of clarity, both in your space and within yourself. The woman who brought this practice into mainstream awareness, Hideko Yamashita, doesn't just teach how to clean your home, she teaches how to declutter your thoughts. She believes that everything we keep but don't truly need is an invisible string holding us down. The more we accumulate, the heavier we feel. The more we cling to the past, the more we exhaust ourselves. Danshari is the process of gently untying those strings with intention, patience, and compassion. When you practice Danshari, you're not just deciding what to keep or what to discard. You're asking yourself a deeper question. What do I truly need in this life? What still reflects who I am becoming? What is simply a trace of a former self, a version I've outgrown? And when you begin releasing what no longer belongs, there's a unique sense of lightness that arises. Your home feels more spacious, and so does your mind. The clutter disappears, not because you cleaned it, but because you chose not to carry it anymore. Danshari also reminds us of something subtle yet powerful. You don't have to fill every empty space. A shelf doesn't have to be stacked with books. A wall doesn't need to be covered in decor. Sometimes emptiness is breath, it's light. It's the calm presence of nothing. And in that nothingness, you can actually feel yourself again. And when you live in a space like that, free from excess, free from the weight of unused things, cleaning becomes naturally easy. You don't need tricks or hacks. You just have fewer things and more clarity. You don't have to clean what's no longer there. If you'd like to try Danshari today, here's a soft invitation. Pick one item you've been holding on to, something you haven't used but haven't been able to let go of. Hold it in your hands. Really look at it. Then ask, do I still need this? If the answer is no, take a deep breath. And know you're not just discarding an item. You're reclaiming a little piece of your space and a little piece of yourself. And if you feel like sharing, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What item did you let go of? How did it feel? I believe every story shared can inspire someone else to find their own courage to say goodbye to what no longer serves them, and to welcome in a life that's softer, simpler, and more true. Hack 7. Reuse daily items for cleaning. In Japanese philosophy, this practice embodies the spirit of motteinai, a heartfelt sense of regret toward wastefulness. It's a way of seeing the world with gratitude and intention. Nothing is thrown away thoughtlessly. Nothing is used carelessly. Everything, even the seemingly insignificant, is looked at with respect and purpose. To see new value in something old is an art. It's a way of living gently, consciously. An old t-shirt can become a soft cloth for wiping surfaces. A used toothbrush turns into the perfect tool for scrubbing tiny corners. A squeezed lemon half can deodorize a sink or freshen up a wooden cutting board. A mesh produce bag once holding vegetables can help you scrub pots without scratching them. Even rice water, something we usually pour down the drain, can be used to polish wood or cloudy surfaces with a mild, natural touch. It's not about being frugal. It's about being intentional. To reuse isn't to settle, it's to honor. To honor the full life cycle of an item. When you give something old a second purpose, you're extending its journey. You're reducing waste, slowing consumption, and easing the burden on our planet. And somewhere in that process, you also begin to ease the pressure within yourself, because you realize you don't always need more, you just need to see differently. It also saves you time and money. You don't have to run to the store for a specialized cloth or the latest cleaning solution. What you need might already be in your kitchen drawer or laundry basket. And once you discover that, cleaning no longer feels like a task. It becomes an act of creativity, of presence, of quiet joy. You're not just wiping down a counter, you're giving new life to something forgotten. You're saying, I see your worth. And if you live with others, make this a shared ritual. Ask your child, what else could we use this for? Ask yourself, could this be used in a different way? These questions don't just spark imagination. They nurture a mindset of care, of curiosity, of mindful living. If you feel ready right now, here's a gentle nudge. Find an old shirt you no longer wear. Cut it into soft squares. Use one to dust a surface, a door handle, a window pane. Feel the texture of the fabric in your hand. Notice how it picks up the dust, and ask yourself, how is this different from using a store-bought cloth? If you'd like to share, leave a comment. Tell us how it felt. That single act, an old shirt, A clean surface might just be the inspiration someone else needs to begin their own journey toward greener, simpler, more thoughtful living. If this video made you pause and reflect, even just a little, don't hesitate to share your experience in the comments. Type, "I choose to live simply and mindfully" as a gentle commitment to yourself, and tell me one small shift you've made after watching. I'd truly love to hear your story. Thank you for being here, for giving yourself permission to slow down, to listen, and to open your heart to a new way of living. Japanese minimalism isn't about rejecting comfort or escaping modern life. It's about choosing presence. It's a quiet return to what truly matters, a reminder that peace doesn't come from adding more, but from letting go with intention. Always remember, transformation doesn't come from giant leaps. It starts with one small shift, clearing a single corner, letting go of one item, or nurturing one gentle habit each day. Let's keep walking this path together, the path of simplicity, of finding fullness in less, and of discovering calm in the beautifully ordinary. I'll see you in the next video.